right, let's bring in our guests.
right.
They're going to be playing at the Sound Bar tonight, which is the old back booth. By the way, we did our
after party for the documentary was there.
Yeah, and they redid it beautiful.
Yeah.
Like for those of you who went to the old back
really
booth,
nice now.
and now what they have done with Sound Bar now, that's kind of why they changed the branding, because everybody knew back booth was like just kind of the old
Look,
rock
I
and
loved
roll.
Back Booth.
Yeah.
It was an old dive bar.
Yeah, it's an old punk rock dive bar, but now it's Sound Bar, and they put a shit ton of money into it, and it's super nice. But these two gentlemen are performing at Sound Bar tonight.
Yes.
And I'm super interested in talking to both of them, because they have, by the way, they're way cooler than us, and I'm intimidated by how...
Also, everywhere they travel, it's like beautiful women have flocked into our lobby now, and I'm like, all right, well,
yeah, I know.
well, we don't need to be here, do we?
And Lee can bring him in. We got Struggle Jennings and
Jellyroll.
Jellyroll.
Yeah.
Struggle Jennings, actually, the grandson of
Waylon Jennings.
Yeah. I had to talk
Hey,
about
what's
that.
going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Grab a seat
right there.
A little intro music.
Got
I'm
headphones behind you?
trying to be professional here. Denim White is accompanying them as well. It's always good to have guests.
I will say, Struggle is the best smelling guest that's ever sat next to me.
Yeah.
Oh, is it you?
It smells like very expensive cologne and weed.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Yeah. By the way, Daniel has his recreational. Medical card.
Yeah. Recreation.
It's medical.
So
I have my medical card, and man, medical marijuana, the pill form will blow your tits off. It is
have you guys
too
had
strong.
shit? Have you guys had? And by the way, how you doing?
Nice to see you guys. Hey, thanks for coming in.
Howdy. Thanks for fucking having us, dude. This is
No
fucking
problem.
awesome.
Well, it's just we just throw our faces on everything, so that way at least you'll think that we're not, like pieces of shit.
Do you guys dabble in the marijuana?
Oh, no, dabbling would be an incorrect term. I'm full-blown submerged.
Have you noticed the difference between the medical marijuana and regular marijuana? Because it seems to me the actual medical marijuana is way more potent and strong.
Yeah, no, it's way better, dude. They take care of it more, man. Weed is a culture, man, and people are growing this shit like, I got the best tomatoes ever. They fucking never put anything on them. They're organic. There's a baby goat that feeds next to them. And they give you all this shit on why it's the best tomato.
Yeah, it is.
So
like
imagine that in weed now.
I was showing my mom.
It's way cooler than tomatoes.
I had on 420. I called the dispensary here in town called True Leaf, and we're
hello, True Leaf. We'd love to talk before we leave.
Well, we're supposed to have them on very soon to talk to the lady that runs it. But I called up, and you, if I'm lying, I'm dying. You were here. I call them up. I say, hey, this is what I want. I want 50 milligram indica pills. And so they say, yes, sir. And then a beautiful woman drives over. A hot girl comes over with a bag with my name on it, walks in the door. I pay for my marijuana. She gives it to me. She's walking around looking at the studio, this kind of stuff. She walks out, and you're like it was, what a time to be alive.
Dream come true.
I ordered weed from a hot girl who brought it to me, and these pills they're just too strong. They're just like, I gotta freeze them, cut them in half.
And I did scream. I'm like, I can't buy beer before noon on a Sunday, but I can get Daniel can get weed delivered to the.
So are we smoking in here?
Well, we can't because people live above us.
Respect. Just had to ask. I was going to say, roll one up.
We would, but unfortunately, because these are live works, everything below is work and everything above is our tenants.
Residencies.
So it gets a little dicey.
But the answer is yes. So Struggle Jennings is here, and you guys again will be at Sound Bar tonight, correct?
Yes.
Now I wanted to ask you, your grandfather, Waylon Jennings. How was it? Growing up in the Jennings family, like how was? I can imagine that. Is it just like a normal family?
Musical royalty.
Yeah. Like
I didn't really realize who he was on that level till I got older and became a fan. But growing up around him was amazing, man. He was probably the best person that I ever met in my life.
Really?
And definitely inspired me in many ways as a man and now as an artist as I've gotten older.
Now I have here on the bio that Lee wrote out.
I like that. I like you're passing the buck. Yeah. I see what you did there.
Listen,
don't punch me, punch the other guy.
Listen,
I see on your bio that you have a 20-inch cock. Is that correct?
And if I'm wrong about any of this, it's Lee's fault. Punch him, not me. I'm too lazy to do my own research. So it on your bio says that you at one point in time you were facing 38 years in prison.
True.
Now, what was first? How did that happen, and what was that feeling like? I mean, shit. At any age, that's basically your whole life. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I mean, yeah, you could be like, okay, well, I could do my time and get out, but holy shit, you're 38 years.
Yeah.
It's your entire life.
Gone,
Yeah, well, I didn't only just go through it once. I went through it twice.
Holy shit.
Do you want me to get into all the specifics?
Whatever
telling war stories?
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with, man. It's all good.
You know,
Get up and pull my pants down and show some bullet wounds and shit?
no, do not pull your pants down.
Can I pull my pants down?
You can.
Okay.
Pull your pants down Friday.
No, it was a crazy period of my life, and you know, I had been engulfed in the streets just about my whole life, selling drugs.
Where'd you grow up?
In West Nashville.
Okay.
Oh, right
West
on.
Side, yeah. So, you know, this guy's been by my side for the last about 15
So you and
of them.
Jellyroll known each other for how long?
15 years plus.
That's a long time. That's like me and Tom, you know? Although I don't think, Tom, to put it, I don't think you're at all ride or die. I think if shit goes down, you could give a fuck about me.
Even if shit doesn't go down, I'm like, it's Daniel, get him. Tom calls it.
He's ride or buy.
I'm like, not me, don't take me, take them.
You should write that down. That's good.
Yeah, no, so it was a crazy period of my life. You know, I was facing federal charges for an attempt to possess with the intent to distribute oxycodone.
And I'll get you.
I had got set up. No transaction went through. No money was found. So it was, it was a setup. But as I was fighting it, I got indicted for conspiracy with a whole bunch of Honduran and El Salvadors.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no shit.
No, literally, I want to paint this picture for y'all as it was painted on the news. It's literally like El Chapo and all his cronies, right? It's like a 57-person indictment. It's all over the news. It's to the point where the pictures are smaller than these firefighters right here. I said firefighters because I just looked up stone and assumed that was a fire symbol. It's totally not a fire symbol.
Those are all the firefighters.
These are our firefighters.
All some stoners.
Jelly was looking at the founders wall.
Firehouse sign. It's like employees of the month. And it's literally all these pictures, right? And
These guys make your hook and ladder the best.
It's literally, and then at the bottom there's this one white guy, and I'm just like, fuck, and he knows,
and it's stronger
zero
Jennings.
fucking it's him.
So they were trying to basically put you with all these fucking
it was a 200 key conspiracy case. They didn't have anything on anybody. They never found the drugs. A couple things were caught, but nobody's possession. A lot of phone calls, a lot of he said, she said from people.
Was it like a bigger deal in the news because of your relation to your grandfather? Were they like, Waylon Jennings' grandfather's selling drugs?
No, it was big news because it was a big bust.
Big bust, yeah.
Yeah, but
the bust was bigger than his grandfather.
That's a big bust.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so at this time, were you you had your music career and everything, and this went on hold, or is this before you?
I had a music career going, but I had one foot in, one foot out. I hadn't completely dedicated my life to it. We were cutting a lot of records and still doing a little bit of touring, but I actually released Outlaw shit the day that I got locked up.
Really?
And that's when shit snowballed. And I had a cool fan base, and
now, a lot of guys fabricate that kind of stuff and then try to release their album to piggyback getting some sort of fucked up street cred or something. Yeah. And it's different when you're really in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you might have a different take on that than the guys that say they want that.
Oh, definitely.
And you were in it, and you're kind of like, guys, no.
No, definitely. Jelly was actually doing a song with a guy one time. And I was so frustrated because I wanted to be doing more than I could be, but I was just wrapped up in that cycle. And there was a guy that was in the studio, and he was rapping about some shit that I knew he didn't do. And I literally like came in the studio like, "This is what you're talking about, motherfucker."
Yeah.
You know, like wigging out because it was rough, man. Like music's always been my passion. It's what I wanted to do. But I didn't feel like it was an option at the time.
Sure.
And it took me going through prison, going through all the changes that I went through to really just say, you know what, I'm going to give it my 100%. And since I've got 7 kids at home and we pay the bills well.
God damn.
Congrats.
Doing what I love to do.
Yeah. So you got 7 kids?
Yeah, 7 kids. Shooting for 8 right now.
Listen, he could come on a Lexus and it would shit a coop out of his
I can only imagine if I looked at the exercise level on his Apple Watch. I pumped my wife one time, and it says "boom shakalaka" is what it said while I was pumping her. I can only imagine yours would say "calm down."
Also, when both my kids, and my kids are well behaved, but when they're running around, I'm like, "Oh my god!" I scream at the nanny, "Come handle this! I need to go relax." So 7
poor tortured soul.
I know, but so 7 kids, I can imagine that's how old? Like, what's the age range?
From 5 to 18.
Wow!
All right,
God damn.
Wait, how old are you? You got an 18?
Yeah, you guys are young guys.
Yeah. 27. I had her when I was 9.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He was born with a penis, and it works. You know, it's like we don't put an age limit on that. You know.
So I found it interesting that you released your album, then you went to jail. So when you were in jail, like your album is blowing up, and did you know? And you were like, "Fuck, I'm in jail." Like,
man, it was crazy.
Must have been terrible.
No, it was crazy because I recorded a bunch of songs when I was fighting my case. So the mental space that I was in, I just got these incredible group of songs that were just, really just full of pain and sorrow and darkness, but light. And, it was crazy. And so we released the video the day I got locked up. And then we were like, man, we got to do something else. It started gaining momentum. And a couple places had come in and done interviews on me. So we were like, okay, I got an idea. So we had them act like they were coming to do documentary footage on me, and we shot a music video inside the county jail.
No shit.
Yeah, first time it's ever been done.
That's clever, man.
Did anybody stop you?
No, there's news clips. No, they didn't stop us. Like we had all the paperwork filled out, but when it released, the sheriff went nuts. And it hit like national news and shit. Like. They were
that must have pissed them off.
They were so mad. They were so mad.
I like how that's an awesome idea, by the way. Like you're like, hey, we're gonna do a documentary. You film your music video in the fucking prison, and then I'm sure like the guards and the people around were probably they're like, oh shit, this is cool.
This is so cool. Yeah, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, I want to be in a video.
Then 2 months later, she's on the news like, he duped us. This is horrible. This is terrible.
Yeah, because then the politicians and everybody above they get pissed. They're like, what the fuck? You're making a mockery out of our justice system, And then,
but it was a good message. I'm telling my son, don't be like me. I got to break this cycle. I got to tear down the black curtain. And I got to, I got to be the best man I can be. So he'll be the best man he can be. Like, it was a good fucking message.
But they don't look at that.
She actually said that the act of duping them overrode the message. It's like, no, it doesn't.
I think it's actually pretty creative. You know, like it's funny.
More people got the message because
it's funny when you do stuff like that. They have the opportunity. Like you and I've done stuff before, sort of like that. I can't really go into details about it, but not even close to that. But where you could draw a parallel, where if they could get in front of it and say, "Oh, we fully support it," then they can garner some of that positivity as well. But they choose not to because at that point it just becomes like a dick out competition. You know, like that's.
Well, we won. We had a bigger dick.
That is awesome. I want to talk to Jellyroll about you. Hello. You have an interesting story about you released an album called Whiskey, Weed, and Waffle House.
Yeah,
and that was like three of my favorite things.
Me too, man.
Yeah, who doesn't
in
like
that
those?
order, by the way. Whiskey, Weed, Waffle House.
Now, Waffle House got pissed off.
They were not. They were not happy. They were not as excited as we were.
Now, did you?
I feel like Waffle House should take the publicity, right?
Thank you so much.
Listen,
this is my argument about this, right?
Yeah. So tell us what happened because
Well, so I've been dropping mixtapes since I was a kid. It's my thing. I just drop music.
Sure.
It's kind of like whatever. And I decided I wanted to do something representing the culture of Tennessee. And I was like, whiskey, weed, and Waffle House. It makes a lot of sense where I'm from.
Yeah.
I love Waffle House. I've been selling pills in their parking lot my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I've been around Waffle Houses, I've been selling dope there. Have you ever walked into a Waffle House and you see a dude in the corner that looks shady and you're like, he looks like a resident here? Yeah. That's me. If you've ever been to one, I was that guy. I was really connected to
the target-rich environment, too.
Yeah. It is a target-rich environment.
This was at the end of the CD era. So I printed a bunch of CDs, and the big mistake I made was I put the Waffle House logo on the CD.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't put nothing but a Crown Royal bottle, right, a weed leaf, and the Waffle House logo. Let me tell y'all, Crown didn't give a fuck. Never got a call from Crown Royal. Never one time did they call us.
Well, they also sponsor Carrot Top. You know, they're like tight, and they just give him booze and money and chairs.
They didn't have a problem at all, so they were cool. Waffle House was not. We passed, but I guess my marketing strategy was, and I didn't realize this was a marketing strategy at the time. I was like, we should just go pass them out at the Waffle House at 3 a.m. Because everybody in the Waffle House would love this kind of music at 3 a.m., right? It's not like I'm going at 7 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is 3 a.m. shit. So
7 a.m. I take my daughter, 3 a.m. It's, totally with my friends.
Exactly, two totally different fucking things, right? And they were pissed, dude. I guess they're based out of Atlanta. And we didn't know that. So we was passing them out in Atlanta Waffle Houses, and it went straight to corporate.
Oh, yeah.
Sent me a big cease and desist letter, and I was still a street kid. I had very limited knowledge of anything.
Yeah.
But I knew that was big. I knew that for Waffle House, because I was like 500 pounds at the time, which I'm still a fat fuck, but I was like he's finna die right now fat fuck. Whole different kind of fat fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder how many times, because I think about all these fat people that have sued McDonald's. You see just story after story of, I got fat because of McDonald's, and they take them to court. I'm like, I wonder how many fat people have done that to Waffle House, and then how many times Waffle House has then sued that fat person. This is me. This is like, I'm that guy. I cannot believe I'm going through this. So I hired a publicist. There was a lady at Gawker. I've always wanted to share her name, but she asked me not to from day one.
There you go.
That threw me an alley-oop. Really, it was like almost, I felt like a favor. She didn't know me, but she just felt really connected to the story and just went on a limb and did it. And she ended up writing for Billboard. She's had some real big gigs since, and I guess that's why she don't want me to ever tell them. She might help me again later in life. Shout out to you.
Yeah, just hold on.
But, and the Gawker ad got picked up by Jimmy Fallon, and he ran a thing on it, and it was my first national exposure. And at the time, I was living with my child's mother and her girlfriend and my child, right? And this was 5 years ago, so it was still, the gay thing was a big thing.
Yeah.
So every reality TV show in America came to Nashville and tried to see me a deal. They just couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was like it changed my whole life. I got a production deal behind the Waffle House shit.
Wow.
Met with a guy that does TV synchronization, fucking signed away most of my life to him for the last 3 years. Just now getting through that deal. He's a great guy. Shout out Jingle Jared. We love you. True story.
Kind of a blessing in disguise.
No, it was a huge, every part of it, dude. It was like, but it changed my life about how I look at media. Right, because before that I was like, fuck media. I didn't want to do interviews, and I was like, we're underground. Nobody loves us anyways. And it's like, that shit just accidentally, man.
If you know how to work it, you can make it work.
It just goes, man.
And it's interesting too because it's a good lesson for guys that are looking to get their name out there. It's like something that you don't want to do once you're a millionaire because then Waffle House will fucking sue you. Because they know you have millions of dollars. But if you don't have anything, then it's like fuck it. You get the cease and desist, get the publicity. Like Waffle House did the best thing they could have done for you.
I made them take it down. I made them take it. When they sent the cease and desist, I was like, I'm not hiring a lawyer. I'm hiring a publicist.
Yeah.
I hired a publicist with the lawyer money. It was like, fuck y'all, man. What? They took it all down. I mean, it cost me a lot of money, but at the time, I didn't care. It was monopoly money for what him and I, he was doing for a living. So I didn't care.
Yeah. It's just, but it cost you $10,000. But in the grand scheme of things,
wish.
I wish.
I mean, they did. They shut my YouTube channel. This was early in my career, but everything that it was a big moment for me. Like when Fallon talked about that shit, like. I was
in a prison
Google
cell watching Fallon that night.
Fallon,
I was excited.
Fallon's that big. Like that shit was like trending on Google the next day. I didn't know what any of that meant and how big that was until I was like. Strangers were calling my personal line like, hey, this is such and such with such and such production company. We do the Duck Dynasty people. We'd like to fly tomorrow to meet you.
Wow.
I'm like, really? Yeah,
No shit.
Come on.
So,
yeah.
so
Are you buying dinner?
so Sharp, you were in prison watching this shit
You
go
watching
down.
your
I remember
buddy
the
on
night
TV.
it happened. Yeah,
Listen, I want y'all to be clear about what was happening
Facility.
while he was in prison, though. I was on a free struggle campaign.
For sure.
We were best friends. We were living together when he went to prison.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, I'm coming in from a late night, 7 in the morning. I'm finna lay down. This is a true story. I'm laying down. All right, I'm coming into town. I'm like, I'm finna go take a nap. He's like, yeah, man, my PO called, man. I gotta go handle something right quick. It's that vague of a thing. Didn't see him for 5.5 years.
Holy
Wow,
Dead serious.
no shit.
True story.
And then he's just gone.
Him, all
and-
our kids are living together. His kids, like, we're all in one house. Like, it's like a big family. Like,
Sure.
like a, true story.
That is nuts.
I wanted to talk to you guys too about playing at the Gathering of the Juggalos too.
Oh, it's the best, dude. Listen, I'm on World Star. There was this girl getting fucked on a fence. The first time we pulled
On
up,
the
right?
fence?
Listen, we pull straight into the Gathering. First time we go to the Gathering, true story, right? We pull in, and there's this girl. Like, let me paint this picture for you too. I am from Antioch, Tennessee. It is a very multicultural melting pot of a neighborhood, right? So it's like, I call it like the Southern Brooklyn. It's like fucking just all over the place. It's South Nashville. It's a melting pot. So me and this is back in my early touring days. So first time they invite me, I'm like, yeah, we're going with Little White. I'm like, this is a big deal. We took 2 excursions and filled them up. Like 9 people in each one to the brim. It's like 18 of us from Antioch. Like, everybody's broke. Everybody's got drugs on them.
Here we go.
Everybody's got a gun. We don't know what we're going to. We're just like, we're going to this festival in the field. It's like literally 18 of us. We pull straight in, get straight out of the car, and there is a orgy on a fence. Right? And this girl.
What kind of fence are we talking?
Like a,
Like chain link,
yeah,
or-
she's got, and the thing was, that's what I was so impressed with.
Chain
she
link
had
is
her
hard.
foot up and her toes went in the chain link fence. Right?
Were they
and I was
busted, busted ass crusty
she,
toes?
oh,
or
it was
they
the
nice
worst.
toes?
No, a girl with nice toes would not put them in a chain link.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? Let's
You're a lot
start
smarter
right
than I
there.
am,
Right?
you know?
Let's start there.
I've been begging my wife to put her toes on a fence for years.
My first thought wasn't next. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't it, right? My first thought was grab the camera. We gotta record this shit. So I start documenting it. Like, look, they're getting fucked right behind me on this fence. And there's this girl getting beat. It was all over World Star. Yeah, the Gathering's the best. It was the same year they threw the shit and piss at Tila Tequila.
Oh, right, yes.
Well, she
We
claimed it was
talked
like a
about
rape,
that.
did she not? Like, she said it was like inappropriate touching or
Nobody
shit like
touched
that.
her
or-
except for shit and piss and bottles. Yeah, man,
she was
listen,
up there
dude.
performing.
First of all, juggalos are fucking awesome, right? Like, if you ever see the Hatchet Man on the back of somebody's car, they came to help. They mean no. They are fucking dude. If I'll pull over for you if I see the Hatchet Man and you're broke down. I know you're a great person.
I think everybody makes jokes about that, but like you and I listen to, to those guys, Insane Clown Posse on. What was it? Corolla? I think it was Adam Carolla podcast. And when you hear their story and hear what they did and hear how hard they hustled in the beginning to get where they are, I mean, they seem very laid back, cool guys. They may not be your thing, but they don't. They seem like good dudes.
We're playing the Gathering this year.
No shit.
Fuck yeah! It'll be like my 5th or 6th one.
I've always wanted to go out
What
there.
was the march
I know.
like? You did the march, right?
I missed the march.
Oh, did you?
But dude, my heart went into atrial fibrillation because I was so fat. And me and my wife took 6-7 months off. It's my wife right there, the bombshell blonde.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
She whipped me into shape. That's why we're back on tour now. We took 8 months off. I lost 110 pounds or something.
That's awesome.
Good,
Congrats.
man.
Yeah, thank you. I've managed to gain 25 back on tour, so I got to figure it out. Yeah, but we're doing great. Yeah.
So what fascinates me about the Juggalos and what ICP and they did, and
It's so indie.
It's
so punk rock too.
It's kind of like
it's
what
awesome.
we did with our BDMs and stuff like that. Is they were able to put together a group of the most engaged, most hardcore loyal listeners that they never have to fucking ever do any mainstream media again.
No.
They formed this network within the United States of
It's
their own
closed circuit
listeners.
TV, man. It's their own.
It doesn't matter. They don't have to promote anything.
They went direct to artist direct, like what they call artist direct to consumer now.
Sure.
Y'all do it here with the y'all just the
it's
same
exactly
fucking
what we
platform.
do.
It's like fuck everybody. We don't need none of y'all. Fucking Twitch exists, this platform exists, we can do this ourselves.
Yeah.
They did that when it wasn't easy to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They did that when you had to go like find people and get them the music.
Yeah,
and
the
be
van
like, no,
story.
you have to believe in this.
In
like
the
they had-
90s,
when they
people
bought
actually
a van and just drove around, and
you
it's
had to
like
do
we
it.
made it look like a clown van, and we had 2 of them, and we just drove
True
around, and
story.
we'd stand outside in schools and just hand out CDs, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
just pass out mixtapes, dude. It's like that, and they were from the era. I mean, dude, there wasn't like a go find everybody at once kind of thing going on back then.
Do they
Social
exude
media
money
and all
now, though? I mean, you said you tour with them. When you see them now, or are they just humble, regular
Dude, they're
dudes?
chilling, dude. They're awesome, dude. Me and Violent J, Joe, it's Joe and Joey.
Yeah.
is Jay and Shag, and Joey is the one who probably talks the least. And he was the funnest. Like, me and Joe are super cool, so that's going to come off wrong. I love Joe. I hang out with Joe. Me and Joe talk business. We talk shit. Me and Joey get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've stumbled through some. We spent like 3 days in Vegas together. We had like 3 random off days in Vegas, and we dedicated like 22 hours a day to just fucking going. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's fucking great.
They're
good
like the
people.
mullet of hip hop. There's business in the front, party in the back.
And they're quietly rich as fuck too, right?
I mean, I'm sure they're straight.
Yeah.
Dude, if they're not, they have made the worst financial decisions.
But that's
of
okay, too. We
anybody
do that
ever.
all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
no, me too.
we look at our bank account, and it's like, people are like, you guys are doing all right. And we're like,
Yeah.
we're having fun, but I wouldn't say we're doing all right.
Thank you.
And let me ask you guys this question: as far as business goes, and your audience, and the people who consume your music, I feel like everybody always wants to get into mainstream, and like their idea of success in the entertainment industry is like, oh, how do I get the most amount of? I want everybody listening, and sometimes that's stupid because if you focus to one group, and I feel like everything's so segmented nowadays, that it's like you focus to your group of your listeners, and then make them happy, and you'll be successful.
What you're saying is you can lose your identity trying to please everybody.
for sure.
You know, you want to be who you are. You know?
Fuck everybody.
Yeah,
It's kind of a
you become a
company
song
philosophy.
or a hit record, and you lose your personality.
Sure.
For sure.
And how did you guys start? I mean, at what age were both of you when you knew each other and you're like, man, we're going to start making music? Look, what ages are we talking? The two of you?
18 and 23.
No shit.
That's young. And you guys are young guys now, but you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you.
We did it for 12 years at cost.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? What I tell people, it's not that we did it for free. We did it like it cost.
Yeah, it cost you to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and I listened to you. Lee actually showed me a lot of your music, and first of all, the production value of your guys' videos is insane. Like you got a good.
It's a
whoever
fun
does
watch,
that,
man.
they do a good job producing your music videos because this is fucking high quality.
No, we got awesome teams.
Yeah.
Struggle's a storyteller by nature. Like you could tell, like he's, and I'm like, I like culture.
Yeah.
I think
Well, the chat room
I
saying
feel like
you're-
everything we've done together.
Chat room saying you're a bit of a freestyler too.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Okay.
It's
He's
funny
king.
y'all bring that up.
Yeah.
We talked about that on the way.
Yeah.
My wife's like, you start freestyling more. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, the chat
Dude,
room
can we have
like,
a freestyle war with Tom?
I don't know.
this guy's one of the most prolific freestylers.
No,
he's
they
not.
fuck with me.
Yeah, he's
but I wanted to ask you about like, have you guys, as you get bigger and bigger, because you know,
I'm trying to lose weight, my friend.
you know, no. I'm talking about popularity wise. Like I'm wondering if you think about like the more and more famous I get, for lack of a better term, like some of your videos on YouTube, millions of views. Do you think about like, well, I want to, because your fans like you because you're real, you know what I'm saying, and they can relate to you, right? And then the more, and this happens with, I feel like every artist, the more and more success you get, and then it becomes a business where now you're traveling around, you're making money and stuff. Do you ever feel like, oh shit, like maybe I'll lose touch of that, who I was to when I started?
I don't think so, because me and Jelly both have the same elements in our life still present. Like both of us have mothers of our children that are still addicted to drugs, in and out of jail, family members in and out of jail, best friends still in the streets, people getting killed every other week, kids.
The new struggle is no matter how good we do, we can't help everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like until we can build our Kanye compound with like our 30 or 40 closest homies, like it's still like
Do people resent you because of that? Like, because they're getting
Fucking
popular. Why
yes.
do you help us?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
God!
you
Thank
get
you
it all
for
the time.
asking the coolest question of the fucking. Nobody ever asked that in an interview, and I always want to talk about it. Yes, it's crazy. Dog, we talking about people that, and I'm passionate about this because it's insane to me. People that like come into your life for small moments, right? Like little moments. Like I've been making music 13 years. Let's say you sold merch for me for 2 years, right? and you leave our experience, for better or worse, feeling as if I owe you my career.
Yeah,
like literally in your spirit or sitting somewhere right now pissed off that I'm being successful because you feel like you had so much to do with that for the 2 years that you sold merch. Right? And I'm just looking like...
So someone's out there like, why isn't Jelly fucking helping me?
Right.
I wish it was someone. I wish it was some fucking one. It's fucking 12, 13 people. I got second cousins that I've literally never had a conversation with as an adult. Right? Like, I don't remember talking to you as a grown man.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, right?
You grew up together.
Yeah. Maybe. Even then, like, it was one of those grow up, like, we see you at Christmas or fucking, they fucking everybody, fucking whatever, that literally.
And do they ask you for a bunch of money, too? That's what I was surprised. It's not like they're asking you for, like, a $200 loan.
Well, let me also, I'm glad we're going to talk about this, too. I wish I could get everybody out of my life for $200. I would walk around and just pass it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's your check. Goodbye.
They call with serious shit like cases and fucking needing cars and, a mama dying and somebody's getting evicted. I mean, all the time. Like, when my wife first got with me, she was like, I think me and Struggle both were guilty for years of just shelling out money.
Yeah.
And we would be broke. Like, I remember a time in my life when I met my wife just 2 years ago, I was sleeping on couches, financing 2 or 3 different lives for people. You know what I'm saying? From a mama house, I'm taking care of all the bills over there. The baby mother one house before she was gone.
Hard to a fault, yeah.
Taking care of that house. I had another girl pregnant. I'm taking care of her household. I'm literally paying rent, full-blown rent, not pieces of it. I'm paying full-blown rent at 3 residences that I'm damn near not welcome in damn one of them.
And your
Mama's house is uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and you realize, and then you got to grow up and... My baby mother going to jail, not even jail, getting strung out, and me and my wife getting married, and we getting custody of my kid, full custody of the kid was like, now it's different. Now it's like, really fuck everybody.
Yeah.
And I had
with respect, I mean literally.
Because you can control the family unit.
Man, motherfuck everybody, dude. I got to try to get my kids straight.
I had the 5 years gone where, of course, none of them sent me a fucking thing or reached out or anything. So now I get that as an excuse like, oh yeah, where am I at? Where were you at?
You didn't visit me in jail.
My favorite thing is when they say, "Oh, you forgot where you come from," and I say, "Oh no, I remember and I know where I'm not going back." Trust me. I remember really well where I came from.
Yeah, you just had a talk show moment. You were going to stand up.
I felt it too.
Yes, sir.
That's right. He's right. He's so right. Thank you.
Say it, sir. Make it so.
I feel like y'all probably relate to this too. Then on this level too, is that also the perception of money is different. Like because of what we all do.
About this.
Because of what we all do, like I wish I made the money that I had a guy that I broke up with last year, a partner of mine, that we split ways, right, business wise.
Sure.
And if I wish I made what he told people I made.
Yes.
Like when he left, he was like, he made fucking $800,000 this year already. And I'm like, I fucking wish. I would be so glad to hear your bullshit right now. I don't think there's not a problem. I wouldn't be excited to wake up for that $800,000.
Well, because entertainment, especially music and what you guys do, like of course everybody sees you, they see the videos, or they can go to Soundbar and see you guys.
Exactly. Nice bar. You see it, nice hotels.
Sure.
You see, we're always drinking, but. This is a road life too. We do make money, but with that, a lot of it goes out the window. Yeah, it's just fucking, I'm fucking a horrible human in general. Give me some money, it's like Jesus, fucking, like fucking bar tabs alone, or just
Like people say, like even it happens with us sometimes too. So when you say we can relate to it, absolutely. I was telling Samantha this morning, my wife comes into me, and this is why I had the argument 2 days ago. My wife comes into me, and she goes, "Well, we set aside what your accountant says we need to set aside for taxes, small business. You're going to have to pay. I'm sure you guys get affected by that even more than we do." And then she's like, "You have $50 to make you the 15th." I'm like, all right. This is
People don't realize there are bands that will be playing like a venue with 4,000 or 5,000 people, and everyone's like, they're awesome. Going on their tour bus. As soon as they get back home, they're working at Target.
That's the only job. Target hiring. I've got 7 kids. If we go to McDonald's, it costs $200.
Struggle 7 goddamn kids. Holy shit!
The gas station's $30. I go with them. The gas station's a $30.
Just for chips.
So you can share a bag.
Go to the movies just alone for tickets would be like $100.
Struggle at the movies. You should do a video. Struggle at the movies and just
they've all got. When we say we're having a movie night, it's like they all want to bring their friends too. So we literally got like an entire row of like 15 people. I've got it on my Instagram. You can see there's a couple photos of like 15 of us in a row.
Let's talk about the new album, Waylon and Willie 2.
Yes.
And when did it just release? It's brand new, right? I mean, a relatively
new. It came out March 23rd.
Yeah. So
birthday.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
Changed our lives.
It's been incredible. I mean, you know. We did.
How long did it take to put together, though? Like I love
about 21 days.
20, yeah,
about
really?
24 days. But when we say 21 to 28 days, we like got in the submarine though.
Yeah,
like
10-hour days.
Yeah, 12-hour days, 5-6 days a week, literally. Like,
because studio time, I mean, obviously, I think
it's expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive, especially if you want it done right.
Yeah.
We listed a little bit of it. It's phenomenal. Sounds great.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't spare expense. So we did the first one that came out, and it was October or November that we actually released it.
October.
Okay. We should know that date. I remember March 23rd for sure. Cause, I guess. We dropped the first one, and we didn't tour it. We just kind of let it linger, and it did good.
Yeah.
But I told Strong, I'm a big fight fan, and I felt like a rematch was in order. You know, like just as a the fighting spirit in me was like, you know, like this. I'm passionate. Like this is our music, man.
Yeah.
This isn't just like this isn't just our music. Like ours, like me and him. I say ours as I'm speaking for like I guess a couple 100,000 proven people now.
Sure,
This is our music.
Well,
like
3 million according to the video.
It's like they expect us to speak. Fuck us. They expect us to speak for them. I was just like, we didn't miss, and I don't want to say like we missed. But I just felt like it was a closer fight than it should have been.
Okay, I got
As
you.
a fight fan, I felt like we got to do this again because we were scheduled to do some totally different shit. Dead shit. We wasn't going to tour together. We were just like, yo, this is like we were just like it was like best friend shit. Like let's do an album, and we did it. And I was like, I was going to drop another record called Goodnight Nashville. He's going to drop The Widow's Son, and we were going to try to come back in the fall together. And I was like, man, let's just fucking stop what we're doing.
Yeah, so like 4 months after we put out one, we put out the other.
Literally.
I think that's cool though,
and recorded it between though. The biggest mistake was people thought that we had a bunch of leftover songs.
No,
complete
all new stuff.
Yeah, I felt like a fighter, dude. I was pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to say it failed, but it didn't meet my expectation. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I never blame people. I'm a guy in the glass kind of person. I think that's how I got where I am. My personal philosophy is something goes wrong, fuck everybody, go straight to the mirror. What did you do here, Jelly? How'd you fuck this up?
That's you, buddy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
All day long.
You I look at myself. Straight. Yeah, you look at it, you're like, well, how did I do?
Period. Yeah. I told my daughter the other day she told me she was late. I don't know. She blamed something on something. I was like, Bailey, that's not accurate. That you didn't pay attention to the detail. You didn't look at the time right. Yeah. That's where that started. You're deflecting. You know, with her mother being how her mother is, we can't accept that in our house. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start that right now. And my wife is dead on it too. So it's like, you know, just.
Let me ask you guys this, because we've talked to a ton of different musicians, and everybody talks about, like, because of the internet and how things have changed, you can't make money off of albums anymore. It's all touring and stuff like that. But I feel like with you guys, it's a little bit different, because I feel like your audience is so engaged and so loyal that maybe they do buy your albums, and you guys do better on albums than other artists because you're more loyal.
The loyalty. Like, I'd rather give you guys money than somebody.
And they want something tangible. They want something, that they can feel and touch. And a lot of our fans really still do love hard copies and actually buy the full album.
So a lot of them live that life. In that life, you're not going to be having the amount of money to go with a brand new iPhone and a brand new Mac to download all your music. You still want CDs because I bet your car has still a fucking CD player and nothing else.
Yeah. So do you guys do well when it comes to albums and your listeners buying them compared to other musicians? I don't know if you've talked to other musicians. We have, and they're like, well, we can't make money on albums, only touring.
I know that what I do know, we work with a lot of country music people because of being home.
Yeah.
And I know that we sell more merch. Like, let's say there's 300 people in the room tonight, right? They say, this is what our merch dude told us that does, like, big people shit. I won't say their names.
Yeah.
Country acts that are selling out 2,000 cap venues.
Sure.
Are selling the same amount of merch that we're doing in 300 to 500 cap venues.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like, as far as
totally
like the fan base being really engaged and representing, and like, I tell people, if you listen to our music, like if you really end up listening to it, like, and subscribe to it, it's like a culture thing. Like, it's a feeling thing. It's not like, It's just it's a different thing. Like I know when somebody looks at me and goes, "Hey man, I know your music," and they really know my music, I know they've been through something.
Yeah.
I don't know what their demon is, but I know there's one inside you. I know that for sure. I know you got a fucking story to tell. If I had a beer and a quarter to give you, I bet you tell it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We're like that with radio, like where we came from. To go from radio to here, the level of engagement that we have, like on this show, compared to where we were,
and like mainstream,
it's night and day. Like it's not even the same thing. And the cultural
listening because they want to listen.
Yeah,
that's another thing too. They didn't just shuffle across.
They have to seek it out too. You're not on the radio. You know, like I'm not turning on the hip hop station here in Orlando, and there you are. I have to go and find you. So I've got skin in the game.
Yeah,
you know, like
that's real.
I'm involved.
It's secret society shit.
Yeah,
I tell people, dude.
That's why our logos are all secret society stuff.
That's so dope.
Like this is our handshake with folks. It's all creepy, weird shit because they know they're in that club.
That's
you know,
you know, it's so funny because I relate to you guys so much, even though we're
this guy talked your ear off, especially business shit. That's his. I just make it sound.
You want to have a beer later?
Well, I hope you got 30 beers.
And again, what's the easiest way to get your tickets for Soundbar tonight?
I just show up tonight.
Okay.
I don't know if there's still tickets left.
Yeah, I know.
I think there's tickets. I don't think we're sold out.
Yeah.
We're not as we're breaking Florida. It feels like.
But going back to like the merch thing, I remember when we left regular terrestrial radio and like working for Clear Channel and shit, and started doing our own thing. And we were
shout out to y'all for that.
We were selling
thanks,
merch.
man.
We were kind of forced out, but it was the best fucking thing we've ever done. Because fuck big corporations.
It's hard.
But
listen, man, force outs are great. I tell people all the time the biggest problem we have as men is breaking up, and not with women. As a man, we're guilty of fuck our woman as soon as something goes bad. Yeah, she's a bitch. You know what I mean? But like, as far as like on some homie shit, we will like. Y'all probably should have left the station years ago. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? One of those things. It was like but it's one of those things. Like it's like men have this
Jellyroll
weird ass
psychic.
nature.
Yeah, you know.
But like a couple of years ago, I remember telling someone at the radio station, like when we were selling a lot of merch and shit,
we were packing that shit. You guys did this. You put the CD in the sleeve. You write thanks for listening on it. You put it in the thing. Yeah, we in my garage doing it.
I was telling him, I'm like, he was like, how much merch are you guys selling? I see your shit everywhere, and I'm like, dude, we're about to sell like 6 figures in merch, like hit it over 100,000, and they're like, no fucking way. I couldn't even convince them. They're like, you're fucking lying.
That was me.
But I was like, you don't understand. Now you guys know it's we make way less actual profit with the cost of everything and shipping and shit.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
the audience is there.
20%.
Like you guys have the listeners.
Yeah, but they just didn't believe it, and I totally relate to what you're saying. It's like there's country acts that are like, they got the labels and all this stuff, and they're fucking doing the same amount of merch you guys are doing because your audience gives a shit and they care so much.
And they're on the radio and they got a cool bus. And they got sponsors, and sponsors don't sponsor us because fucking my wife kisses other women. I smoke too much weed. My wife kisses other women on my Snapchat all the time.
But do you think that's changing?
And a reason to subscribe.
Yes. I mean, shit. Do you guys know Mike Busey at all?
That is my fucking brother, dude. That's my fucking twin.
We had a feeling.
Because
we were just talking about Busey.
Dude, we're like 6-7 years strong, maybe 8 years now.
Yeah, because
he shot my first music video.
He's got the worst. It sucks because people talk so much shit. And we even did. We didn't know him, and I admitted that to him when we went and interviewed him. And I'm like, dude, I didn't know who you were.
He's such a good son.
I'll make jokes. He's the nicest dude, man.
Fucking sweetheart.
Nicest dude.
And you know what's it's funny because people do the same shit with the Juggalos, and I'm sure they do it with you guys and your listeners and Busey and him. It's just the fucking the judgment that someone just automatically writes them off, or like, they're because of their lifestyle, whatever. Like,
and it's like the epitome of not being a good human being, you know, is to do that kind of stuff. But we all do it.
Dude, the worst motherfuckers I've ever met in my life are fucking white dudes in suits, pieces of shit. They will step on your fucking kids to get ahead. Seriously, I'm like, oh my god, like, and then everybody wants to frame like guys that look like you and Busey and and the Juggalos as being pieces of shit without even knowing them, and it sucks. But then again, I feel like that brings all your listeners together, and like everybody fucking judges, and we're nice and we're good people, and we just live this life, and I think that's the core of why you guys are so successful.
Listen, out of 10 people that come up to me and Jelly, maybe one of them says, "Oh, I love your music." The other 9 say, "You got me through addiction. You got me through a divorce. You got me back with my kids. You got me back around my family. You brought me through dark times." That means more than anything else.
And I feel like even with the other shit, like me and my wife were talking about it, like I think it's just about like how come we can't be cool? How come because you become a parent or because you become in your 30s or because you start having success? Like, I thought that's when we were supposed to start fucking being cool. You're telling me that I signed up to be a fucking rocker for a living? Y'all motherfuckers made it happen, and now you're fucking won't sponsor me because me and my wife publicly have threesomes? That's fucking nuts. I feel like there should be a parade for us every time we do one. I feel like every time a bitch gets in the car with my fat ass and my wife, there should be a group of people going, yeah, fucking go, yo.
But I might be there, like chanting, holding a sign.
USA.
But you know what? I really think that as far as like sponsorship and like companies, I really think that shit is changing because
we have a good friend that we worked with who owns he owns the Las Vegas Lights, which is it's a professional soccer team. We did a lot of work.
minor league soccer team.
Minor league team, but he's the first professional sports franchise to ever be sponsored by a dispensary.
Yeah.
And, it's right there on it's the main logo.
That's
it's
awesome.
even bigger than their own team logo.
What dispensary?
God, I'm blanking on the name of it.
It's some big one in Vegas.
It's cool, but we lived in Vegas. My wife's from Vegas.
Oh, you'd probably
she was
know it
born
then.
in Houston, Texas, but moved to Vegas.
You'd more than likely know it, but it was one of those things where, we got him on the phone and started interviewing him. He's just laughing because it's changing.
Yeah.
What was the name of the soccer team?
The Las Vegas Lights.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like a lot of that stuff is changing. It's like, shit, we do an uncensored, this show's uncensored and stuff, and a lot of our advertisers, they're like, listen, as long as we're making money, we don't give a shit.
New Woo Cannabis. New Woo Cannabis.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you what I've been seeing lately is that we've had a couple of people offer us sponsors, like, I don't know what invisible sponsors. Right? Like, hey, we want to give you a little money. We want to appeal to your audience. We just don't want people to know that we're appealing to them.
We get
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we get that.
Yeah, it's
the
so many
secret
words.
deal where we're like doing it, but then they're like, but my bosses can't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's working. It's working.
This isn't a paid for sponsor ad with y'all. We're not associated with y'all.
Yeah, it's like an off the books type thing.
Yeah.
Do you foresee yourselves ever like changing your lifestyle because, like, let's say a sponsor or someone or a record label or whatever wanted to throw a shit ton of money, but they were like, we want you to cool out on the whole
threesomes thing.
Dude, this is the craziest thing y'all we talked about all this in the car up here today. Right?
Really?
So we were talking about me and Struggle and the difference in us being, I think, solely on I have a 9-year-old and he has a 19-year-old. So like from perspective and perception, like he, and I realized that when Bailey's 14, me and my wife got to probably have a different, it's at that point it's I guess we're going to have to, everything's going to, but it won't be because I'll never change who we are for anybody
for a sponsor.
If that makes sense. I think the evolution will be inevitable because of the, like, even then, we were just talking about it. When me and Bunny first got together, we put all our threesomes on Instagram stories. Literally, like full, like everything but the dick.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, literally. And
that's
now,
the name of our new album we're dropping this
Everything
week.
but the dick.
Everything but the dick.
That's fucking awesome!
It's 2, though. Everything but the dick 2. The first one, I didn't feel, I felt like we needed more.
Can I show your wife on her?
It's new. It's everything but the dick uncut.
Tom, that is the creepiest thing. I show your wife on our webcam. That's some creepy shit.
I'm sorry.
It's totally fine.
You were putting it on Instagram.
He was already moving it before he got an answer.
He was putting on Instagram because it's his fucking wife.
I just wanted to shine. I'm sorry.
I wanted them to see it too because there's somebody that doesn't know us and is looking now like I bet she's fat too. Somebody mentally.
All our listeners are going to be like, "Oh, there's a chance for me."
Dude, no, he's giving fat people all over the world.
I like first comment. First comment is whoa.
It's just fucking great.
So yeah, you're right. It's the same thing with me and Daniel. Like when we had kids, my youngest is about to turn 4.
But
so
you think it's easier for you because he's got 2 boys. I have the daughter.
Oh,
so like
the daughter's
yeah.
It's
So
different. Even with a little boy, I have a little boy too, and I look at him like a little wound up doll.
Yeah.
Like I have no empathy for him at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I just kind of look like everything's like get the fuck up. Like it's just I just look at him and I told her I was like, she's like it'll get different when he gets older. I was like I don't think so. I really believe it. Struggle told me this. He was like it's just different, dude. You just naturally look at a little girl as a man like oh my god. Everything I've ever done wrong is now staring at me.
She's got me. I'm all twisted up.
And I've realized
she's got me so bad right now. With anything she does wrong, she's figured out how to manipulate. So she'll turn to me and just be like, hi. And I'm like, oh, God, I love you so much. Here, burn the house down. Do whatever you want.
By the way, our everybody wants to know your Instagram, but
Snapchat.
They're like, Instagram, so please tell me.
At Jellyroll615 on Snapchat and Instagram. You'll find my wife right there. She posts half nudes all the time. She's got more Instagram followers than me. I'm fucking pissed off.
I understand.
Well, I mean, she happens to be very attractive.
I don't even know.
Yeah. I'm having a competition that she doesn't know we're having.
I wanted to ask you guys because you had Yellow Wolf on some of your songs, like featured on some of your songs, and it was just a bad subject.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is like one of those things where this is struggle subject. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, because it's interesting because this is a long time ago. My sister-in-law, my wife's sister, was in one of Yellow Wolf's music videos
she was indeed.
in Atlanta, and this is way
Hard White.
It maybe she was on a four-wheeler. But she was only like 13 at the time. She's like 23 now. But it was a long time ago. And I remember my wife was like, "Who is Yellow Wolf?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's probably some Atlanta rapper that's coming up. I've never heard of it." And fucking gigantic.
Oh, I love Yellow Wolf.
Back then, I think he was starting to blow up, but then now he's huge.
Yeah, because he's signed to Shady Records.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
Oh, he's gone.
Now he's independent. Now he's doing his own thing.
Do you see it? I was going to ask you about that.
Everybody do it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just the way to go.
Everybody's just going.
Well, he started a lifestyle brand, Slamerican, you know, 10, 12 years ago. And me and him have been friends, I guess, about 10 years.
It's been about 10 years, man.
About 10 years. Actually,
maybe a little more.
We had reached out to him. He didn't have a situation or anything yet. They were doing a movie about my life. And they were like in the process of it, writing the scripts and finding all the actors. We were getting Billy Bob Thornton to play in it. Drea DiMatteo, you know, my Uncle Shooter has two kids by Drea DiMatteo.
Yeah.
So she was going to play my mom, and we were looking for somebody that had that look and that could rap. And he actually came and auditioned for the part and like was going to play me in a movie. And we just clicked up. And he was in jail, so I was looking for another friend because I was missing him so much. And
it's nice that you guys, you know what I will say, that it's nice that you guys have other friends when each other is in jail.
Yeah.
I think that's a good, it's healthy.
Were you in jail before?
Yeah, he did.
So the thing is, my case was 14 grams of crack. His case was 200 kilos. So when we have interviews, they tend not to talk about my pebbles.
The sprinklings.
No, it's a whole different thing. But yeah, so it was one of those things. I was in jail about a decade ago.
Oh, okay.
And my little girl was born, and she was like 2 when I came home. And while I was gone for a possession of, literally I got caught with like 14 grams of crack. In my defense, I didn't know it was in the car.
Yeah.
It had fell off of a bigger pack. I mean, I was a petty crack dealer, yes, but I didn't really, you know, what I told the police it was a thing. But I was on probation for something I did as a teenage kid. I grew up in the juvenile system. Got charged as an adult. Just kind of my story was like much more of a juvenile based thing, like literally 14 to like 20. Yeah, I was home for like 7 months or something. You know, that whole stretch. I hit puberty, jacked off for the first time in jail.
Holy shit.
Had a girl touch my dick for the first time in jail, in juvenile as a kid. Like the first time a woman ever actually touched my dick. I was on the cookie stand, and this girl I've been flirting with, sending notes through, you know what I'm saying? She reached to the little thing. It was a thing, man. It was a big thing. I went through all that. I grew up in.
Oh, that's
in the
weird.
System.
Like it was puberty through jail. That's crazy.
Well, imagine coming home with a little beard, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like everybody's like, "Damn, you fucking grew whiter and taller." You know what I'm saying?
God, my kids are gonna be so soft.
So I was in jail, and I would call, and like every 3 or 4 months, because I knew I was just doing like a year. And I would call, and the last time we spoke, he'd be like, "Yo, man, I'm in fucking Atlanta with this dude named Yellow Wolf. This dude's fucking da-da-da-da-da, and I'm doing this." Because somebody sent me a picture of him in a Porsche. I was like, "Oh, shit, this is awesome." I was like, "We're coming home to some cool stuff, man." He's out there with a Porsche. And we did. We came home to some really cool stuff that was short-lived by his Fed case.
Yeah.
So real quick, just so all our listeners can find your music, what's the best way for them to get the new album and you know?
Or what's the way that you make the most money?
Even then, I'll tell y'all the truth, man. That's what I was going to say earlier was we didn't get to really live in the glory years. Like the CD glory years for us, we passed out a bunch of CDs and it cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like, fuck, this is great. I don't care how you listen to it. I get paid for it.
Yeah,
it might have been more back then, but fuck, I wouldn't know. What I know now is that I'm making more money than I'm qualified to. In any merit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for
throw out
sure.
your website, throw out your social media.
Yeah, Jellyroll 615 on Instagram, Jellyroll 615 on fucking Snapchat.
Sure.
I'm at I Am Struggle on Instagram. I am .struggle on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And Soundbar.
WaylandandWillie2.com, but I think it's the
There we
number
go.
2.
Yeah, it's the number 2.
Wayland and Willie 2.
And you guys tonight, Soundbar. There might be. I'm thinking there are some tickets, so go snag those.
Yeah,
Wear
please.
your Tom and Dan gear if you're heading out there.
Yeah.
What
I
time
think
show
our
start?
chatters want to know if Bunny will be there.
Bunny is there. Bunny is there. And Bunny will bring you home, ladies.
All right.
This is not a gimmick. I tell people all the time, do not flirt with my wife if you don't want to come home.
Before they came in, I had my wife on the line to talk about going to a Yanni concert.
I heard that.
I know, yeah. I gotta hang out with you guys.
fucking doing this wrong, man.
Yeah, I know. God, I'm so.
Oh, but Bunny says bring your wife to her.
Got USA!
Could you imagine that?
I can't imagine it, and I'm going to later. But
I love y'all.
My wife's a fucking nerd.
God,
I love her. I love her.
I just I used to be. I feel like
This guy gets drunk in the pool, and then he starts trying to do swinging, and then his wife's like, yeah, we'll swing. Come with me. Let's go to the bedroom. And then she just puts him in the bed, and then she goes back out. Puts him to bed. Night, little baby.
I feel like I missed my window of time because I remember Busey used to reach out to me back in the day. I used to do this thing on the radio called Drunky the Bear. I'd fucking jump shit and fucking party animals.
Here we go.
I think we should bring back Drunky the Bear. I think it's Drunky the Bear time.
But
We could go to Busey's tonight.
I know.
Yo, they're having a members
party
weekend
there.
this weekend.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
fucking
big
going to be
party
a
there.
fucking shit show.
I think we have an open invite. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
100%.
said to me Mike has said, and he's invited us before. He's like, "Come out, we're gonna come party." But I'm like, God,
have y'all
damn.
ever? Yeah, y'all have been, right?
We went the day
we-
before, like his 4th of July party last year or something.
We
Okay.
interviewed him. We went to his new
Yeah.
place.
It was
that
like
compound out
a
there.
week after
It's a
Bert
compound.
Kreischer was there, and he got his new teeth and everything.
Wow.
And so he was
Yep.
he was floating in the clouds because he's so happy. You know, like
Yeah.
No, he's
That guy's
dude,
incredible,
He
man.
has been. He deserves it, dog. Like
He does.
He's another one of them underdog stories of somebody who's seen his vision when nobody else did.
Yeah.
When everybody's like, "You're fucking crazy." Like, dude, he used to pull up in like a leopard print van.
Yeah,
fucking
still has
a
it.
decade ago. Yeah, for
also,
sure.
how
like,
cool is it you just get paid to party?
Well,
I
dude,
mean,
he always
but it
that
wasn't
was
like
a
that.
dream.
When we interviewed him, he's like before Snapchat and shit. He
Yeah.
was struggling
Yeah.
to try
He
to
was
put.
struggling.
We were
Yeah.
talking about that before, like the amount of money he makes doing that Snapchat. Like, it's that kind of thing where it makes you mad, not because of jealous, because you're thinking, God damn it, I should have fucking done that
Right.
too.
It's crazy,
Well, he
dude.
built the following, and then the problem was technology just wasn't around to be able to monetize it. And then all of a sudden, when it was able to be monetized, he had the following, he had the engagement, the loyalty that you guys have, and then he was like, boom, and it was able as the Snapchat hit, and then
Yeah.
he was able to have that Patreon method where your listeners are just paying you, and boom, fucking
Boom shakalaka.
millionaire,
Don't say boom shakalaka.
But
Speaking of Yellow Wolf, we'll be touring with him later this year too.
What? I'm in.
There you go.
Oh, we're announcing all the shit here.
Yeah, I love it.
dude,
I didn't think we were supposed to tell that yet. That's why.
I don't think I was supposed to say
Be
we're
cool
playing the
about it.
Gathering, but it's like fuck it, we're playing the Gathering too. We're playing Louder Than Life in September. All the
Can we
festivals we're
play-
not supposed to announce. I'll
Can we
announce
announce
now.
where we're playing Sunday?
We're at Carolina Rebellion. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
we're at the Carolina Rebellion Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Big
lot
rock
of good
festival.
bands of that.
Crazy.
It's crazy. We're the only rappers this year. It's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, shit.
Well, guys, I thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
You're cool as
Dude,
shit.
We wish you
Fuck,
nothing but the
anytime.
best. I mean, continue the
Likewise.
success, but I know you will because you guys are you're good folks.
Dude, thank y'all, man.
Anytime you're come through
Back in town,
Orlando,
yeah.
please,
Yeah,
come,
please
in.
come in.
I'd love to
Definitely.
sit down with you and just talk to you about like the whole just more about your life because we do a segment called Chatting with the Masters,
Yeah.
and I'd love to just sit down and have like an hour like just conversation with you.
Oh, man,
we'd love to come in and be a resident as much as you'll welcome us here. 100%. I don't want to say I came in thinking it was going to suck, but I didn't think it was going to be cool. This has been fucking awesome.
I knew it was going to be cool. I knew it was going to be cool when Denham White hit me up and said, it's called A Mediocre Time with Dan and Tom. I was like, yeah, that's some cool
shit. So you got the name right.
No, listen,
me first.
The mediocre, listen, when he's... it's Tom and Dan.
At least you got the names
no, but
right.
it should be Dan and Tom.
Y'all sound like us. It's fucking great. Y'all like the radio version of Fucking Me in Struggle.
Yeah, like the dynamic is very
He's still trying to get me to change the next album to Willie and Waylon.
Yeah. I try to do it on this one. Let's just call this one Willie and Waylon instead of Waylon and Willie too.
When you said I'm saying all the shit I don't think I'm supposed to say, and the serious look the struggle got in his face is you and I. Yeah. I blurt out all the dumb shit, and you're just like, fucking A, man.
But you know what? The funny thing is, it's the opposite when we're live. Because when we're live, every night struggle is a grenade. Yeah. You never really know. Yeah. Every time he starts to talk, I just go, oh, God, please. Oh, God, please.
That's the tequila. That's the tequila.
He get that tequila and get we sold more tickets here tonight than sold.
I have a feeling a lot of people tonight are going to know about that Yellow Wolf tour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you guys again. Don't forget to pick up the album and see them tonight at Soundbar. We'll take our break.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's just why not some Willie Nelson there. Here we go. We'll be right back.